Stories help the mind to travel miles, see places, and gain new experiences. At Joave Media, we tell your stories in the most brilliant way using state of the art equipment. Our range of services include documentaries, TV commercials, TV series, movie productions, television production, photography, music videos, drone services, graphics design, and many more. Contact us on 024 760 3028 or email joavemedia@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Joave Media will deliver your desire.
Alright, what's up people out there? What's up GH? What's up Africa? And what's up the world? It's your boy Ricky Fem and it's the test. Yeah, finally, I am here to tell you that within the apartment, yeah, I know you've waited for so long and you've been wondering when I will show you within the apartment. I'm here to break the good news to you that within the apartment is showing on Joe Eve TV online on the 19th of September 2020. You don't want to get it twisted, you don't want to miss it for anything. And one most important thing about this is that you get to be part of the show because there's going to be in-depth studio interactions within the apartment is showing on the 19th of September 2020, exactly 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. on the dot. So Joe Eve TV online. You don't want to get it twisted, you don't want to miss it. Charlie, if you miss out, wait till you get. You got to make it time and watch within the apartment.
Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. Welcome to another wonderful Saturday. And this is Time with Evebab on Joave TV, brought to you by Joave Media. This is where you have to share the link. Kindly share it. Just share it to your friends, share it to your siblings, share it so that everyone will connect to this platform so that we all learn together. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back from this quick commercial break.
Alright, what's up people out there? What's up GH? What's up Africa? And what's up the world? It's your boy Ricky Fem and it's the test. Yeah, finally, I am here to tell you that within the apartment, yeah, I know you've waited for so long and you've been wondering when I will show you within the apartment. I'm here to break the good news to you that within the apartment is showing on Joe Eve TV online on the 19th of September 2020. You don't want to get it twisted, you don't want to miss it for anything. And one most important thing about this is that you get to be part of the show because there's going to be in-depth studio interactions within the apartment is showing on the 19th of September 2020, exactly 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. on the dot. So Joe Eve TV online. You don't want to get it twisted, you don't want to miss it. Charlie, if you miss out, wait till you get. You got to make it time and watch within the apartment.
Welcome back from the commercial break. If you just join us, this is Time with Evebab on Joave TV, brought to you by Joave Media. And our guest is already seated in the studio. And our topic for discussion today is transportation, making the right choice. We all want to buy a car, right? But we want to make the right decision. Join me today as our guest will take us through some of the important things to look for when you want to buy a car. Our guest today has a degree in auto engineering. He is the CEO of OG Logistics and Transportation Management. Join me, viewers, to welcome our guest, Mr. Engineer John Ologu.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. You are welcome to Time with Evebab.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Alright, so Mr. Ologu,
Yes, madam.
we want to buy a car.
Okay.
But we want to know, let's take it from the personal use perspective. If you want to buy a car for your personal use, what are some of the things to look out for?
Right. Thank you so much for the opportunity given. Once again, good evening to your viewers. Good evening to the entire crew. In buying a car, what do we say now? We say transport or car has become a need and a necessity as well. Things that you need to look out for when buying a car are many, but I'll try to put them in a brief form, or I'll try to compress them together so that our viewers can benefit. Maybe someone is watching online or something, would be leaving line very soon, so I'd like to put everything in brief. Now, it depends on you as an individual and the type of car in the first place you want to buy. Either brand new, a home use, or a slightly used, which is here in Ghana. If it's a brand new, then you are fortunate. Why do I say you are fortunate? You are fortunate because with brand new cars, the best place you can get them is directly from the dealership here in the country. For instance, like the Universal Motors, the Nissans, the Toyota, and then all that. Aside that, with a home use, then with those ones, you look at either buying online yourself or buying from the garage or having someone there who would have to ship it back here home for you. Then, if you're looking at buying from home, which is a slightly used or a Ghana use as mostly on the market, we do call it, then with that too, there are other factors too that you would have to consider. So in the first place, let me take it from the perspective of buying a brand new car. Now, if you want to buy a brand new car, you know your strength financially. You know your strength. So considering everything, the first thing you need to consider is your strength, your financial stability.
Is it the strength to buy the car
as in brand new?
Or as in maintaining it?
The strength in buying a new car as in brand new. Before we look at the cost of maintenance. The cost of maintenance will come in where you look at the spec of car you are buying. Every car and the cost that is really used in maintaining it. Yes, let's say someone buying a V8. If you should buy a V8, the cost of maintenance of a V8 wouldn't be the same as the cost of maintenance for that of VW Polo. Or that of, let's say, Toyota Corolla. 1.8 engine capacity stuffs. They are different. So, looking at it from the brand new perspective, one, you look at your engine capacity, of which for that the cuts are cross-board. You look at your engine capacity, and so far as it's a brand new car, I don't think you are going to struggle that much because brand new cars has got longer pace or longer durations before they get to that damaging point or before they get to the point where I would recommend that maybe you offlet it and then go in for another. If it's a home use, then there are 7 factors you need to consider.
Wow, 7 factors.
7 factors you would have to consider. If it is a slightly used, which is home here, Ghana used to, you go beyond, a little beyond the 7. So let's say 8 factors.
Wow.
Yes. There are differences. Yes, there are differences. Now, if you are buying a home use car from home, which is outside Ghana, and you are bringing it into our motherland, Ghana, the 7 factors anybody who would like to buy a car would have to consider. That's one, the engine, the condition of the engine, and then the capacity of the engine. That is the first thing you would have to consider. 2, you would have to consider the transmission system. Transmission, someone will say, then I'm ready. Transmission has to do with your gear, which is a gearbox, your clutch, if it is a manual car, looking at the gearbox strength and then all that. So anything that has to do with gear or anything that has to do with the selection of gears for the car, that would have to do with transmission. Then now you come to look at the wheels and then the tires, or braking system, the wheels, braking system and then the tires. Yeah, the wheels has to do with steering. Braking system has to do with your brake applications. And then that of your tires as well, the conditions of your tires, which is the wheels that would be on the road. You consider that. You come to look at the body as a factor. Mostly in Ghana here, what we see most people do is when they are bringing their cars, they bring them from salvage, accident. Yes, most cars that they bring from home to Ghana is mostly, I can boldly say, half close to 1/3 are mostly accident cars or salvage cars that have been bought from the salvage yard outside. Then they bring
Is
them
it
in.
because of the cost?
Yes, sometimes
it's
they
cheaper?
do, yes,
Okay.
because of the cost, and it's cheaper in buying. And with that too, sometimes they consider one or two things, even at our port here.
Yeah.
Sometimes they consider one or two things in terms of duty and other stuff. They look at the damage strength of it and then all that. And all those things are factored into it.
Okay.
And then, aside looking at the body, you come to look at the interior.
Okay.
Just like the way you would like, and just as the studio looks so beautiful. Yes, everybody would like his or her car, the interior to look so good. So then when you sit in, you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Why? Because I, for one, being a technical person, I always say that my car is the nest after my home.
Wow.
Yes.
Meaning
because
your car should be
my car should
nice,
be very good,
like
as
your
equivalent and as close to that of my home.
the looks.
The looks, yes.
Okay.
Why do I say this? I say this because the next place after showering and after dressing, the next place I move to is a car, because I need to hit the road. I've got businesses out there to check.
Okay.
So in doing that, the comfort I would like to have in my sitting room, I would like to have that same comfort
In
in
your
my
car.
Sure. So
Alright.
I would have to look at the interior of the car.
Okay.
Sometimes we do buy cars that the interiors do not suit the standard that we want. So you as a person, you would have to work on the interior to make it meet the standard you wanted. So in buying a car, the interior is also a factor that you would have to check. Aside after checking the interior, the next thing you need to check is documentation.
Okay. I thought the documentation is after you bought the car.
It is after you bought, but before you ship a car
Uh-huh.
from home back to Ghana here,
Yeah.
or from abroad to Ghana, there is a documentation process you go through. Most of the accident cars they buy, and most of the cars they buy from the salvage yard are cars that are released by insurance. Most of those cars are cars that are released by insurance. So if the cars are released by insurance, then the mother document of the car would have to be examined and then checked before the car is being placed into a container for shipment to take place. If it is a car that can be tested, then that would be the 7th point I would like to talk of, that you would have to test the car before you place it into a container and then you push the car back home.
Alright. Alright. So you've
This-
taken us through the
Yes, for that of the home use.
Okay.
Or let's say, even with the brand new, if you are buying the brand new, the 7 factors that I've talked of are also factors that you will still have to consider, or you would still have to check. It runs through when buying a car.
Okay.
The 7 factors that I've talked of runs through when you are buying a car. But
Alright.
then if you are buying a brand new car,
Mhm.
just as in Ghana here, our big men will tell you, say, "Usika nswa wasi omumbi." If you know what you are going in for, and you know, definitely you know what you want, you know the spec that you are looking for. So there is no need in telling me I have to go through all these proceedings before I come to pay off for the money. Once it's a brand new car, everything is intact because it has been examined, it has been tried, it has been tested before it's been brought to the showroom here in Ghana for
Okay.
people to purchase.
Okay. Alright, thank you very much.
Welcome.
In your presentation, you
Sure.
made mention of gearbox
Yes.
and engine, and I would want to know, maybe you need a professional person to maybe go with you to check all these things with you, or maybe you can give us some things to look out for.
Sure.
We'll know that, but we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue. So
Right.
viewers, we are going for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue.
Alright, what's up people out there, what's up GH, what's up Africa, and what's up the world? It's your boy Ricky Fem, and it's the test. Yeah, finally, I am here to tell you that within the apartment, yeah, I know you've waited for so long and you've been wondering when I will show you within the apartment. I'm here to break the good news to you that within the apartment is showing on Joe Eve TV online on the 19th of September 2020. You don't want to get it twisted, you don't want to miss it for anything. And one most important thing about this is that you get to be part of the show because there's going to be in-depth studio interactions. We Need Apartments is showing on the 19th of September 2020, exactly 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. on the dot. So, Joe Eve TV online. You don't want to get it twisted. You don't want to miss it. Charlie, if you miss out, wait till you get. You got to make it time and watch Within the Apartment.
Welcome back from the commercial break. If you just join us, this is Time with Evebab on Joy TV. And today we are all buying cars. We want to learn. So the topic for discussion is transportation, making the right choice. And this show is brought to you by Joy Media. If you are wondering what Joy Media deals in, Joy Media deals in documentary, wedding, movie production, live streaming, anything media. Don't look anywhere. Just call on Joy Media and they will deliver your desire. So let's go back to our question.
Okay.
So the question that we left off, like if those things that you mentioned, the
Sure.
gear and
Sure.
the engine,
Sure.
do we need a technical
Yeah,
person
you need a technocrat to aid you in doing that.
Okay.
If you are buying a brand new car, when you get to the showrooms, they have technical people who take you through those things. But if you are buying from the garage, or if you are buying from home back here, then with that you need a technical person to aid you go through the proceedings.
Okay.
Now, if it is from the garage and you need a technical person, mostly people don't really consult that of the consultants, but they mostly do that of the roadside mechanics and then that's that.
Yeah.
It is not a bad idea, but then it would always be the best if you get the detailed technical people on field to do those checks for you before you patronize any car. Yes.
How do we get some of these people? Because we just know that area
Roadside
mechanics
mechanics,
that's
right.
we
Now,
can
for
go to.
instance, OJ Transport and Logistics.
Okay.
Yes,
So you
we
pay
do.
me for their
Sure.
Okay.
We do. We do that. There are other people, one or two people too, that are also in the market that also
Alright.
do that,
Alright.
or who deals with that. Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go. We want to buy a car for commercial purpose. We also have to go through this 7
Yeah.
steps that you've taken us through.
And even with the commercial, you go beyond the 7.
Okay.
Yes. Now with the commercial, in the first place, there are 3 factors to consider
Okay.
when you want to do commercial.
Alright.
1, is it only for profit making?
Mm-hmm.
2, is it only because people are doing transport? That is why I also need to venture into transport business.
Okay. Like taxi.
Like taxi, boat, Uber, and then all those stuff.
Okay.
Is it because people are doing it? No, there should be a motive behind why you're doing that. And with transport, let me tell you, transport is one of the best business anybody can venture into.
Okay.
But it depends on you as an individual and how you want to go about it. If really you want to do transport as a commercial business, then seriously you should be ready and then have that kind of broad chest or that big hat to tolerate all forms of junks that will be coming your way.
Does it include the those that are going to, like the drivers?
Yes, it
Because
includes.
I know
It
some of the
really
drivers can
includes.
really
It
give
really
it of time.
includes. It really includes
Okay.
drivers. Yeah. Because commercial transport itself is very broad. Commercial transport is very broad. Now, let's look at something. Let's say I want to buy a trotro, just as we all call it. Let's say that would run Accra to La Paz or Accra to Dakuman or Accra to anywhere within.
Within Accra?
Yes, within Accra.
Okay.
It's not doing a long distance something. Now, if I want to buy a car that would do, let's say, within Accra, factors that I need to consider in the first place, the road conditions, one way or the other, a bit okay now.
Okay.
With our road networks, most of the road networks now that leads to Accra, it's in good shapes. So if you are looking at doing transport within Accra, let's say a trotro or a taxi, there are brand and specific cards that I, for one, I would recommend. Why? Because they are tested and tried.
Okay.
Yes, and it is good doing commercial business with those brands.
Okay.
Come to the taxi, the boat, the Ubers. There are cars too I would personally recommend. In the first place, if you want to do a trotro commercial business here in Accra, look for a car that is diesel.
Diesel?
Yes.
Is it because diesel is cheap?
It's not because diesel is cheap. Someone will say, why diesel? Diesel because it takes a bit longer period in burning. When we look at the engine cycle of operation, we have 4 cycles of operation with the engines. We have the induction, the combustion, the compression, and the
Hey, viewers,
exhaust.
we are learning. We are hearing things.
These are 4 cycles. These are 4 cycles that every vehicle goes through, either petrol or diesel. But if with a diesel, it takes a longer period in burning. Petrol burns faster. That is why most people do say, petrol car they are here no more, but diesel car no more. It is because of the cycle of operation that takes place with the engines. So if you're looking for a transport business to do within Accra, then I would recommend diesel for you because it doesn't consume that much. Aside recommending a diesel engine, I would also recommend, I don't want to market for any company here.
Yes, you don't have to.
I don't want to market, they've not paid,
yes.
So if they want us to market for them, they should go to Eve Media and then pay and then we'll do the commercials and then those adverts for them. I don't want to make mention of names, but there are certain brand of cards that are best to do commercial business within Accra. And there are cars too that you would have to consider if you want to do a long distance something. There are also type of cars that you would have to consider. Most people currently in our market, we are seeing the sprinters and then all that. With these cards in the system, it is good. But if really you want to do commercial business, I will not recommend Sprinter bars for you. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because Sprinter, it's a container. Outside, it's a container. When we bring it, the very moment we shape it into a commercial bus, now we weaken the weight and then the strength of the car.
Okay.
Yes. You weaken the strength of the car. Most people do not know this. And then the weight at which a Sprinter bus, which was then a cargo car or a container outside Ghana, the weight that it will carry, when we convert it into a commercial car, it goes beyond. So mostly the insurance companies, sometimes they check these things and then they don't often do, they mostly do the third party.
Okay.
For those cars.
Because of the cost.
Because if they would have to do comprehensive, it would go beyond. It would go beyond if they are to do comprehensive for it. And looking at the balance or the age, if you want to buy a home use car, you need to consider the age factor as well. Just like the same way, if you want to buy it for commercial purpose, you need to check the age. Because a car which is beyond 10 years, it is difficult for you to ship that car into the system.
Why?
And, yeah.
Which is beyond 10 years.
Is a rule? Yes, it is a rule. Any car beyond 10 years, the rate at which it gets spoiled is very faster. Why? Because it is getting to its expiring peak.
So do we have
every car has got an expiring peak. Every car has got an expiring peak. Beyond 10 years, that is when the major faults begins to develop for you to see. So if you are buying a car even from outside to Ghana, it is within 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I wouldn't recommend you go beyond 6 years. I personally wouldn't recommend you go beyond 6 years. Because let's say 4 years more or 5 years more, after that you'll be having comprehensive challenges with service work, parts changing and then all those stuff. So I do not recommend for my clients to go beyond 10 years if you are not buying a brand new car and you are buying a home use. If you are buying an inward or a Ghana used car, sometimes I don't recommend that. Sometimes I don't recommend because it depends on the type of car, not only the registration number. People do buy cars with registration numbers, but I don't look at registration numbers to buy a car.
They can alter the date.
The dates can be altered. No, you know, once it's registered, it's registered. For that, it cannot be altered because of the regulatory system that we have at DBLA.
Okay.
Those ones cannot be altered. But Things that mostly people do alter is a mileage and then those stuffs. People, we have technical people who are doing that currently.
Okay.
Because of the machines that are in the system now, they are able to alter those stuffs. But honestly, buying a Ghana use, which has been used beyond certain durations, I don't recommend.
All
That you
right.
do that.
All
Yes.
right. Okay, so now we know what to go in for.
Sure.
So from your presentation, meaning even if you are buying it for commercial purpose, you still have to go through that step.
The same 7 principles
but
that
additional
we've
to
but
which you
additional to.
added it to us.
Sure.
Thank you very much. And how often do we have to service our cars?
Wow, this is a good question.
Thank you.
And you know, most people who are driving, you know, we have drivers, we have car owners, and we have people who also know that of what they want and how they want their cars to be. I, for one, regularly I do my regular service after every 5,000 to 7,500 kilometers covered.
That's written on the dashboard.
Mostly because I'm a technocrat, I know how to calculate my kilometers. You don't know, so I would have to help you do that. You know, when oil servicing takes place, when we talk about maintenance or servicing, mainly what we know of is that of oil changing, changing of filters, changing of filters, fuel pumps, and then those stuffs. That is what mainly we know of. But servicing goes beyond this. It goes beyond only the oil service or the oil changing. When you talk about regular servicing has to do with you checking your transmission fluids and then making sure that they are due for change. You checking your braking systems.
So please, hold on. These terms that you are mentioning,
They
are technical terms.
They are technical terms.
So
sure.
does that mean every time we want to service our car, our mechanic has to tell us? Or
Sure, every good mechanic is supposed to help you, the car owner or the user of the vehicle, to help you so that you can aid the car have a longer lifespan. Because sometimes you wouldn't like to sell right after 2 or 3 years after using the car. You would like to use it for some period. So the mechanic who serves your car for you should be able to help you in doing these things.
okay.
Now, every mechanic who is a good mechanic, you know, we have the roadside, the back doors, and then all that. Every good mechanic will take you through the service proceedings. Every good mechanic.
Okay.
If you come to my fitting shop for one, or if you come to my shop for one, anytime your car is supposed, or anytime your car is due for service, I would have to take you through the servicing chart on that. We create a history for the vehicle. And when those history is created, it is based on the history that we use in servicing the vehicle for you.
Okay, so please, are you telling me that when I'm a regular client of your fitting shop,
Yes.
you have a data of my car?
Sure, I have a data of
And
your
that
car.
data will tell you when I need to come in for a servicing?
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So with this, then aside the regular oil servicing we do, just as I said, the transmission has to do with your gearbox or your gears and then all that. Sometimes you service your car, you change your spark plugs and then all that. But we forget one thing, we forget that we need to check our gearbox oil, because the gearbox works with lubrications. They also work with oil.
Okay.
And with the oils that they work with, sometimes they get dirty. If it is an automatic transmission gearbox, you don't see the change cycle that takes place with the gearbox. Yours is the more you accelerate, the more the speed, the gear keeps changing. If it is a manual, then you change it yourself. But you see, because they are metals within the gearbox, there is what we call the synchronizing mesh. Sorry for using this big term. The mesh is what selects the gears for you if it is an automatic vehicle. With the synchronizing mesh, there are two metals. And when two metals comes in contact, friction takes place. That is why there is a need for the lubrication. So the lubrication eases the friction that takes place, so that the selection can go through the regular way that it's supposed to go through for no delayance. Because the more you accelerate, the more the speed, the more the gears need to be changed. And once this thing is done, particles are being compiled together, or they come together, and once they come together, there are which are the particles that we are seeing, they need to be changed, or else it affects the gearbox. So if you used to drive, sometimes you notice that your gears do delay. The delay takes place when these particles are choking or are entering into the meshing surfaces of your gear, which is supposed to give it that free flow for it to be able to move. That is when you see those kind of delays. So once you see these things, then that means there is a need for you to change your transmission fluid as well.
Okay, so when you see this changes, you have to just go and visit
your mechanic, so that the change will be done.
Sure. All right.
So for maintenance, it rates from 5,000 kilometers to 7,500 to 10,000.
10,000.
Yes. And it depends on you as an individual. I, for one, if I've got 2 cars in my home, then I would use the 10,000 kilometer mileage calculation for my servicing. Then with that, it can take me maybe 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months. Sometimes it goes beyond the 3 months as we always do. But if it is commercial, then I would always advise either 1.5 months or 2 months. You need to do the change. Yes. So that you can have that long span for your engine and then for your gearbox, so that the car can also work for you to get the money that you used it by to do that.
All right. Thank you very much. We've learned a lot.
Sure.
Although you gave us some terms, but we are okay with it because you took your time to explain it better for us. Okay, so we are going for a quick commercial break.
Right.
Okay, viewers, we are going for a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we are going to the quote segment. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Stories help the mind to travel miles, see places, and gain new experiences. At Joave Media, we tell you stories in the most brilliant way using state-of-the-art equipment. Our range of services include documentaries, TV commercials, TV series, movie productions, television production, photography, music videos, drone services, graphics design, and many more. Contact us on 024 760 3028 or email joavemedia@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Joave Media will deliver your desire.
Welcome back from the commercial break. And if you just joined us, this is Time with Evebab on Joave TV, brought to you by Joave Media. Today, we want to buy a car, and I'm sure that you've gotten a lot of gist to guide you to get the right car for whether for your business or for your personal use. And this is the quote segment. This is where that we digest the quotes for the day. So I'll read the quote again for you if you missed it. Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. And this is coming from Proverbs chapter 2, verse 11. So, Mr. Odogu, your take on our quote for the day.
The quote is very deep to talk of. Yeah. And in life, you always need to make a decision. And in making a decision, you always need to make the best choice out of the decision you make. Yes. Because our roles have been given to us.
Yeah.
But aside the role being given to you, you always have to be at a point to make the right decision, so then you don't flout or you don't get yourself at the wrong place.
Okay.
So even in buying a car, or even in looking for a car to buy, you should always look at your strength, as in how you can maintain the car, and then how you can use the car for longer pace before. So in choosing, choose right and always choose the best.
Alright, in choosing, choose right and always choose the best. Okay, so we are wrapping up the show.
Okay.
So please, any final word?
Okay. To my lovely viewers, I would like to advise, anytime you would like to buy a car or anytime you want to go into commercial businesses, please consider the factors that we've all studied this afternoon or this evening, and and then make sure you make the right choice, because if you don't make the right choice, it would go a long way to affect your finances.
Yeah.
Because we say I can afford car, be say car, a car. Yes, because
Like it's a cost.
it's a cost.
Yeah.
Yes, and the way you would like to keep yourself, your car becomes your third goal.
Wow.
Yes, I always tell my clients, your car becomes your third goal. Because if you would like to keep your kids in good shape and in good stand, which is your family, which is your second goal as apart from your creator, the next thing you look up to, it's someone will say, is this business?
Yeah.
Maybe the nature of business you do, it is your car that keeps you going. That is why you are able to do the kind of business you do. So your car becomes your third goal. And when it becomes your third goal, you need to give it a good treat. So make sure you do the right selection, the best choice, so that you can be able to give it that kind of treat that you need to give it. And in buying car, always go for the best.
Okay.
Currently, one thing that I've come to notice on our market is that there are bigger cars with less consumptions. There are bigger cars with less consumptions.
Okay.
There are bigger cars which has got all the balance, but yes, they're very cheap to afford. And looking at what is going on in our country with this assembling plants coming into the country and then all these things are being done so that at least we can ease the kind of pressure on us as individuals in bringing the cars from abroad to Ghana. So once we have them here, I would always indulge and advise that they go in for it so that we can have that longer pace or that longer duration before if the car would go damage, they go.
All right. Thank you very much. And please, if you want to say any shout out to anyone, this is the right time for you.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Joe Eve and then wish you the best. Shout out.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Aside that, I want to wish my lovely wife to be.
Hey.
She is there and she understands what I'm doing.
All right.
I want to tell her I love her so much.
Oh.
I want to tell my fathers, which is my spiritual fathers, and then my senior men in the field of operation, that I salute them. Their guidance and their coaching is what is taking me, or that is what has brought me this far. And finally, I don't want to forget it. Reverend Joseph Saribankado, my parents, I love you so much. And no matter what the storm be, I am still by you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
God bless you too. And let me join you to say that the first shout out to our wife to be.
Sure.
Thank you for allowing him to come on the show.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so viewers, that's how far time will allow us to go. And thank you so much for staying tuned. And if you are watching us on YouTube and if you're not yet subscribed, please just subscribe and then click on the bell so that it will notify you anytime that we put any video there. And this show is brought to you by Joive Media. And Joive Media, if you are looking for any media house to handle anything media, don't call anyone. Just call on Joive and they will deliver your desire. So wonderful viewers, let's meet again. This is your host, Evelyn Isel, but you can always call me Evebab. Let's meet here, same time, same place. And that is every Saturday, 5:30 p.m. sharp. Viewers, I just want to do this quick one for my guest because he is very busy, but he just came to the studio just to honor and teach us some of these tricks. So I'll just give him the chance to give us his contact. So anytime you want to buy a vehicle, just call. Please, when you go there, mention my name that you got this contact from my show. Please go ahead.
Right, the contact is 0245 520 478.